This is the Blade-Lok how-to video. Let's jump right into it. First off, when you get the Blade-Lok, it's going to come just like this. You got 3 screws on the plate itself, and then you got 2 up front for clasping. Let's get into how to mount it on the sheath and mount it to any kind of backpack or belt, plate carrier, etc. So first things first, we're going to take the first 2 screws here out. They have a threaded post on the back side, as you can see here. Once you take the screws out, you'll take your clasp off, or your strap. You'll open it up. Now you can take and access these 3 screws here to then mount on whatever sheath that you have. Obviously, your sheath needs to make sure it has some kind of holes in it. Most sheaths do, so usually or likely you are okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take these screws out, set these aside. Same as before, I'm going to take the post, hold the post with my fingers. All right, we've got our securing strap out of the way. We've got our 3 posts, our 3 screws, and then our screws over here for our securing at the end. All right, so we've got all the parts off the Blade-Lok. No more screws are in it. I got them set inside, or set in front of me here. You'll see you have one full panel of Velcro on one side and then half a panel on the other. What's beautiful about this is I can take, I'm gonna take this Montana Knife Company knife here. I'm gonna set this panel up to mount to an Everly-Stock pack strap up here pointing down. I would like to note that you can take this thing, fold it either way, and use the Velcro to your advantage, or however you want to set it up. You can attach it to where your knife is like this, like that, sideways, 90 degrees, upside down, obviously. Today, I'm going to mount this on the inside where there's no Velcro here. That will allow me to then fold it across here to attach your pack strap, or fold it across this way for the pack strap. All right, so let's go ahead and put this together. So I'm going to take this smooth side like I was saying. I'm going to place the sheath in here, and I'm going to take my posts and start lining them up on the opposite side here. So I'm going to put the post through the sheath side. I'll line out my screws. When you get your first screw in, just go ahead and just get it started. We want to be able to move it around and adjust it to where we want it to be. So I've got it on the far slot here, and then allows me to access the other slots over here with this wider sheath. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going here. And it's also important to note that it comes with 3 screws. You can use 2 if you want. It's not necessary to use all 3. So if you can't align everything up perfectly with how many holes you have in your sheath, etc., it's not necessary to use all 3. Just use 2. It'll get the job done just fine. All right, got them all started. Oh, no, not yet. There we go. I'm going to cinch this up nice and tight. If you're going to lock this permanently in place, I would advise you to use thread locker if you're going to leave it on this Blade-Lok for a long period of time. The screws do come with a patch kit on them to where they do stay secure, but throwing some thread locker on there is a big recommendation. So I've got it on here. I can now fold it this way and put the screws through that we took off in the beginning. I can also fold this way and use the Velcro to help adhere it. What's beautiful about having the Velcro completely exposed on both sides, we can take our strap, our securing strap, and secure it completely that way. So I'm going to use this method on this particular situation, which is nice to have this strap because it kind of deletes the bolts. It's not 100% necessary for the bolts to be used. All right, it's on. The Blade-Lok is on, attached to the knife. I'm going to go ahead and bring the Everly-Stock pack over. And like I was saying before, I'm going to mount it up top here on the left strap so I can pull the knife down. Here's the strap pack. I'm going to go ahead and just throw underneath it like so. Place it where I want. As you can see here, this is a really wide backpack strap. We could still crunch the backpack strap and still use the screws that are provided to clasp this shut if you wanted to be more permanent with this. In this case, I'm going to use, for example purposes, our strap, which is a bolt delete kit, as I said before. Go ahead nice and adhere it on there on one side. Pull it tight, get exactly where you want it. And adhere the other side. So boom, strap, Velcro, other side. Look at that, nice and secure. It's not even moving anywhere. Boom, it's sitting right there. Reach up, grab, pull. She's out. Nice and easy. So mounting option number 2, I'm going to go ahead and mount this to a cummerbund or anywhere on a plate carrier. To do that, we're going to use the same setup we did on the pack strap and leave it the same. But instead, we're going to add the screws and delete the strap. So the screws, you'll notice, are longer than the other ones to mount the sheath. And they also come with a rubber washer. This rubber washer can be used to create space in between the Blade-Lok or put the rubber spacer on top of the screw to reduce space. So for example, we got the rubber washer here. We want that there to create some space. If we didn't want to create space, just wanted to do mate to mate here with the Blade-Lok, we would then take and place it here and then put the screw through. That just helps us retain this for future use. So throw the washer on here. Another post of the washer on that one. Nice and tight. All right, there we go. Nice and secure. Got Velcro on both sides. Let's get the plate carrier up here. All right. So plate carrier, I've already taken, we got the cummerbund here. Get this around so you can see it. I'm going to rip this cummerbund open. So as you can see, we've got 2 different types of Velcro. We got loop and hook. The Blade-Lok has both infused into it, so we're always able to replace any space that we take up with the Velcro. So very nice piece there. I'm going to nestle it in there nice and tight. Go ahead and close this back up. And there we go. You got a knife in your cummerbund. I'm going to rip this out real quick. If you want the knife up front, you understand how Velcro works, so wherever you want it, you place this guy down here in the front where I have the mags, or I can go back behind the mag system, open that up. Any plate carrier, whatever you got, if it has Velcro, it'll fit. So I'm going to put this over here in the corner. Maybe I want it there today. Squeeze it together. Pull knife. You're in business. Now, next we have our belt. So to do our belt, I'm going to go use a different knife system. This is the large Blade-Lok we've been doing the examples with so far. So moving to a belt. I'm going to use a smaller knife, this nice Tito blade here. I'm going to mount this sideways for a back pull on the belt here. So this is super simple. I'm going to go ahead and de-rig this. There's our strap. Pull these off here. So in this case, I'm going to use the strap and delete the bolts, and that allows me to quickly put this on and off the belt at ease as I'm in and out throughout my day. All right, got these all off. Earlier, I talked about you may only have room for 2 screws. This is a great example of that. We only have 3 holes here to work with on this blade here, on this sheath, and that's totally fine. We'll just use 2 of these holes. So I want to orientate this to where the bottom is down and the knife is like so sandwiched. In order for me to do that, I just need to get to line up on any of these screw hole points. So in this case, the bottom slat opens up for 2 of those holes. I'm going to go ahead and bolt that together like so. All right, like I said, 2 bolts, got it bolted in nice and tight. This thing will fold back down here. I'm going to take my strap. I'm going to go ahead and adhere one side. So I'm going to take and just place the strap like here, I'll show you properly. Attach one side. Now we have an opening. Take your belt. While you're wearing the belt, slip this part through the back of the belt or where the side, wherever you want. Slip it through like that. So I'm going to do that again for you. Slip her through. I've already attached part of my strap. Flip around and you'll just use your hand strength to tighten her down nice and tight, and boom, like so, she's mounted. So this is the back of the pull, so it's coming back behind your back. Go and use your thumb, push against, you're out. Now in this case, we have a little bit of play on the Blade-Lok here, and that's because we have a thin belt and we have a larger space here. Here's how you fix that. You take your it would be more permanent solution, but you take and use your bolts for the clasp up here and place them anywhere in here to take up the space and create a smaller belt loop size. So let me give you an example of that. So what I would actually want to do is I would take these, move this sheath up to the top, and then I would take the bolts and I would take and close up this gap right here through that where I have it mounted currently, and that would give me a small place for my belt to go through. So very versatile piece of equipment, the Blade-Lok. That's how you do that. So those are just a few ways to attach your blade with the Blade-Lok to any kind of gear that you have. There is obviously an infinite amount of options you can use the Blade-Lok for to attach your blades to any kind of piece of gear. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps. Have a good one.